So what we have to say to these liberals, and to everyone in the Green Party and the Fianna Fáil Party and the journalists as well and the civil servants, is that if you want to change the situation that we're in and you want to introduce a new idea, the ball is in your court to prove to us, the citizens, why you want to do it. So a very short list. Number one, in the theory of liberal democratic society, for the last 200 years, you have the Parliamentary Assembly, you have the government executive, and you have the judiciary. These bodies are designed to keep an eye on each other. What Eamon Ryan and the Commission and all the other people in the Irish civil service want to do is introduce a layer to this structure of liberal democratic society, which has no oversight whatsoever. They need to justify that at length. Number two, there's no evidence anywhere in the world that having a quasi-judicial, separate, private legal system for corporations to sue governments has ever increased foreign direct investment. Number three, there's no evidence in Canada or any European country that our judges proactively ride roughshod over the interests of foreign investors. Show us the examples where Irish or European judges have been cruel and nasty to foreign capitalists. There are none. Number four, to join the European Union, you must sign a deal that says you will never discriminate against a foreign investor that's not from the European Union. Number five, to join the European Union, you must sign an agreement that the courts of your country are at the disposal of every company who's ever won an award in an ISDS case. So I won't go into details of examples, but when a government refuses to pay the arbitrator's ruling of the billions of future unearned income, that company can then go to America or any EU country, go to the circuit court, go to the high court and say, I have a ruling here from an arbitrator in an ISDS deal from the other side of the world, and I'm going to asset strip the assets of that government in your country. And the judge is obliged to agree and allow them to do it. And that's a caveat to join the European Union. Finally, there have been a host of trade and investment agreements recently where there's been no investor versus state dispute settlement mechanism whatsoever. In fact, the comprehensive agreement on investment just signed off at the end of December between the European Union and China. It's called the Comprehensive Agreement on Investment, and there's no mechanism for private companies to sue governments. Any company, European company, that wants to take umbrage with the way that the Chinese government is interfering with its investments must go through the Chinese courts and vice versa. The EU-UK Brexit trade deal explicitly says any company that's got a problem with the way Europe and Britain is interpreting the trade deal must go to the British or European courts. And then finally, in the ultimate irony, the world's first horrendous mega regional trade deal was NAFTA, the North American Free Trade Agreement between Canada, USA, and Mexico. Trump wanted to rip it up and replace it, and it was replaced with the USMCA, the US-Canada-Mexico Agreement. Canada, in the redrafted NAFTA, has refused any connection with ISDS. And the Mexico, so Canada has removed itself completely from any investor-state dispute settlement mechanism in the new NAFTA, and Canada and America have agreed to phase it out over the next 5 years. And finally, for everyone in the Green Party, the Irish Civil Service, Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael, and the journalists and academics who might be in favour of this investment court dispute settlement mechanism of CETA, they need to prove to us the evidence as to why it's required. Rather than us trying to prove yada yada. And the final item that I'd say is that nobody on the pro-democracy side that we're on has ever suggested that a private investor-state dispute settlement mechanism ever interferes with the state's right to regulate. You're a sovereign state. Of course you've got the right to regulate. The point is that if the private company went to the courts of the land, you'd get compensation, but you wouldn't get compensation for all future unearned profit. And that's the purpose of ISDS. That's it.